As the Trump administration continues the authoritarian takeover right here in the good old US of A, it is becoming increasingly clear to me that the Democratic Party is still kind of rudderless at this point, right? Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have a lot of strong voices. We see AOC and Bernie out there doing the Fighting Oligarchy tour. They are drawing massive crowds. We see people like Jasmine Crockett, Maxwell Frost, Greg Kasar, and others. They are tearing Republicans limb from limb in all of these congressional hearings that we are seeing. So we definitely have a deep bench of talent, but nobody has really risen up to fill that leadership role that the Democrats actually need right now. And I definitely think it is something that we would benefit from, right? It would give us someone to coalesce behind, somebody to rally behind as we fight back against the fascist coup. And I think one of the people who might be vying for that leadership role is somebody like J.B. Pritzker. And he recently gave a keynote speech in New Hampshire that we have definitely got to talk about. He was not only calling out all of these so-called do-nothing Democrats, as he puts it, but he's also calling out these fascist Republicans who are just so afraid of Trump that they are kind of just letting our country burn. So let's go ahead and take a look at a few moments from this speech. And I'm going to go ahead and start it here, where he's talking about maybe we've been listening to the wrong people for too long. If you guys do appreciate my work, please do remember to subscribe.
Who we listen to will shape the way we react to events as they unfold. Fellow Democrats, for far too long, we've been guilty of listening to a bunch of do-nothing political types who would tell you that America's house is not on fire, even as the flames were licking their faces. Today, as the blaze reaches the rafters, the pundits and politicians, the pundits and politicians whose simpering timidity served as kindle for the arsonists, they urge us now not to reach for a hose. Meanwhile, if we took care to listen to the voices of real people, we would hear our neighbors and our friends standing on the streets, outside, screaming for a response, one big enough for a 5-alarmer.
They would say that America's house is not burning as the flames licked their faces. I love that line. But what is he talking about here? Who do we want to be listening to? Do we want to listen to the Democrats who kind of just say, oh, let's just give Trump enough rope to hang himself. He'll do all the work by himself. We don't really need to do anything. Let's just go ahead and sit this one out. Or do we want to listen to the fighters? And more importantly, do we want to listen to the American people? Because what have we been hearing ever since Donald Trump got into office for the second time? Everybody has been coming out and saying, Democrats need to do something. And I heard something just so profound in a recent town hall. Somebody stood up and said, I will vote for you again if you are brave. And I just really, really love that. Because what is that person saying? I want somebody who is going to stand up and fight. You might not win every battle, but I want somebody with courage who is going to stand up and do the right thing as our country is being set on fire. I absolutely love that. We do need fighters in this moment. I do not think it is the right approach to just sit back and let Trump hang himself. I do not think that is the right approach. And J.B. Pritzker rightly says that, these do-nothing Democrats, they're part of the reason as to why we're here right now.
Here's the problem with the do-nothing crowd, now telling us what to do. Well, they spent their years watching Republicans illegitimately pack the Supreme Court, take away voting rights from people of color, systematically chip away at the constitutional order. And all the while, they offered, in response, a simple defense of norms and decorum and a blind hope that one day soon, Republicans would wake up to find their better angels. Well, that got us exactly where we are today. So, folks, the reckoning is here. And now that this culture of timidity is on full display, those same do-nothing Democrats want to blame our losses on our defense of black people, of trans kids, of immigrants, instead of their own lack of guts and gumption.
I absolutely love that he said this here. I think it is so important that we do not turn our back on our values. How many times have we heard people come out and say, "Oh, well, maybe we shouldn't defend the trans community. Maybe we should just let the DEI thing go." I could not disagree more. I hate that thinking. Why would we turn our back on the values that make us who we are? There's no other place in life that would be acceptable. Now, do we need to make it a front and center issue like the Republicans try to make it? No. But that doesn't mean, like, Kilmar Abrego Garcia is a perfect, example of this, right? I heard Democrats come out and say, "Oh, this is just a distraction. This is what Republicans want us to bite on." I mean, what are you talking about? You have an innocent man who was was given no due process and then shipped off to a torturous prison down in El Salvador. You best be damn sure that I'm going to stand up for that man. He deserves due process just like everybody else does. So no, I do not want to sit back and let Trump hang himself with his own rope. I don't want to sit back and take the advice of throwing our values in the trash so we can get ahead politically. I do not think that is the right thing to do, and I'm very glad that J.B. Pritzker is taking this line of approach here. I think it is the absolute right thing to do. Now, of course, he spent some time trashing the so-called do-nothing Democrats, but then he started going after Republicans. Here he is talking about how the Republican Party is just kind of a shell of its former self. They are just so afraid of Donald Trump that they are letting our country burn down as they watch.
And we have a grand old party, founded by one of our nation's bravest presidents, Abraham Lincoln, who today would be a Democrat, I might add. But a grand old party so afraid of the felon and the fraud that they put into the White House that they would sooner watch him destroy our country than lift a hand to save it. Democrats, we may have to fix our messaging and our strategy, but our values are exactly where they ought to be. And we will never join so many Republicans in the special place in hell reserved for quislings and cowards.
A special place in hell reserved for the quislings and the cowards. Truer words, right? Republicans have removed their backbone and become completely subservient to the Mad King. They won't stand up against him for anything. I mean, just look at all of this tariff nonsense. You got a couple people coming out and saying, "Oh, maybe we should take that power back." But for the most part, Republicans have been silent. And now Donald Trump is threatening to go after anybody who stands in his way on this issue. We know that Donald Trump likes to rule by fear and fiat. He likes to intimidate people. We even heard Lisa Murkowski come out and say that people in Congress are afraid. And that's just not how things are supposed to be in the United States of America. Like I said, the Republican is a shell of its former self. They have capitulated to every one of Donald Trump's demands. They should be absolutely ashamed of themselves because instead of standing up for the country, instead of standing up for the Constitution, they just, kind of laid down and let Donald Trump roll right over the top of him. Now, J.B. Pritzker wasn't done. He really starts to go in on what the Trump administration is currently doing right now.
It's time for us to be done with optimism about their motives or their objectives. Time to stop wondering if you can trust the nuclear codes to people who don't know how to organize a group chat. It's time to stop ignoring the hypocrisy and wearing a big gold cross while announcing the defunding of children's cancer research. And time to stop thinking that we can reason or negotiate with a madman. Time to stop apologizing when we were not wrong. Time to stop surrendering when we need to fight. Our small businesses don't deserve to be bankrupted by unsustainable tariffs. Our retirees don't deserve to be left destitute by a Social Security Administration decimated by Elon Musk. Our citizens don't deserve to lose health care coverage because Republicans want to hand a tax cut to billionaires. Our federal workers don't deserve to have, a 19-year-old Doge bro called Big Balls destroy their careers. Autistic kids and adults who are loving contributors to our society don't deserve to be stigmatized by a weird Nepo baby who once stashed a dead bear in the backseat of his car.
Yeah, every single thing that he mentioned there was true. This Trump administration is absolutely out of control. They just did that budget resolution that is going to cut $880 billion from Medicaid. You just want to strip away health care from the lowest earners in our country so you could give tax breaks to your rich friends. I mean, this administration has been so full of chaos and incompetence that, man, you couldn't even write a story like this. Donald Trump has proven to be such an idiot that he is doing so much untold damage, not only here domestically, but to our relationships around the world, that we are going to have to be repairing this damage for decades to come. So it is time for Democrats to stand up and start fighting back aggressively against this nonsense. We need to start standing up for our values. We need to start standing up for the little guy. We need to start standing up for the trans community and the minorities, and we got to do the right thing here. Like he was saying, we can't just hope that Republicans are going to someday turn around and they're going to do the right thing. They have proven over and over and over again that that's not what's going to happen. They continue to capitulate to Donald Trump over and over and over again, and it's the American people who are getting hurt. Pritzker goes on to say that he is growing very contemptuous of this new administration.
Our military service members don't deserve to be told by a washed-up Fox TV commentator who drank too much and committed sexual assault before being appointed Secretary of Defense that they can't serve their country simply because they're black or gay or a woman. And if it sounds like I'm becoming contemptuous of Donald Trump and the people that he has elevated, it's because I am. You should be too. They're an affront to every value this country was founded upon.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They are an affront to every value that this country was founded on. I mean, the women of today are having less rights than their mothers and their grandmothers. You've got a Trump administration who is probably the most corrupt administration that we have ever seen. He is launching meme coins before Inauguration Day and fleecing his supporters of billions upon billions of dollars. We have an administration who is going after the free press. He's trying to meddle in private universities. I mean, all of this is un-American stuff. He's deporting people for writing op-eds that might be favorable to the Palestinians. He's rounding up people without any due process at all and shipping them off to a gulag down in El Salvador. We just learned that children were shipped out of the country without any due process at all. All of these things are fundamentally un-American. And it is time that we stand up and fight back forcefully against the authoritarian regime. J.B. Pritzker goes on to end the speech with a call to action here.
Listen, I understand the tendency to give in to despair right now, but despair is an indulgence that we cannot afford in the times upon which history turns. Never before in my life have I called for mass protests, for mobilization, for disruption, but I am now. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. They have to understand that we will fight their cruelty with every megaphone and microphone that we have. We must castigate them on the soapbox and then punish them at the ballot box. They must feel in their bones that when we survive this shameful episode of American history with our democracy intact, because we have no alternative but to do just that, that we will relegate their portraits to the museum halls reserved for tyrants and traitors.
And this is the exact energy that we need. He said Republicans, what did he say? Republicans should know no peace, and they should be punished at the ballot box. This is the energy that we need. This is the energy that the American people are calling for right now. Like I said, how many times have we heard people, Democrats in particular, coming out and say, I want you to fight harder. I want you to do something. This is the type of leadership we need. This is the type of rhetoric we need. We need to be forcefully pushing back against the authoritarian regime who are trying a fascist coup in the United States. We have to have a true opposition party that can actually fight back. None of this feckless Democrat stuff where, oh, well, I might vote, I might not vote. Oh, let's just go ahead and let them have it. Chuck Schumer just caving on that budget negotiation. I mean, it was absolutely pathetic. We are weak and we are feckless right now. We need real leadership. We need people who understand this moment We need people who understand this moment for the urgency, or with the urgency that it requires. Because, like he said, if we continue to go down this road with this Trump administration, and we do not have an opposition party that is going to forcefully push back against it, we are going to lose our country. It might sound hyperbolic, but look at what is going on right now. We have to have fighters. We have to push back hard. We have to build a coalition that can fight back against the authoritarian regime. And I think somebody like J.B. Pritzker, who's coming out here, who is kind of trying to lead the way, maybe trying to emerge in that role as a leader in the Democratic Party, I think this is the type of character we need in that role. Not somebody who's going to, maybe we shouldn't stand up for Kilmer Abrego Garcia because, they're Republicans, they're a little bit stronger on the topic of immigration. That is a load of shit. We need strong leaders who are unafraid. We need strong leaders who have the courage to fight back against this Trump administration. So, very excellent job here by J.B. Pritzker. I would love to hear more of this from more of our Democrats out there, and I'm anxious to see who is going to rise up and be the leader that the Democratic Party needs in this moment. So, I will leave it there for now, guys. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. We are trying to build something here on the left that can push back against the right-wing media ecosystem that just shovels this fascist nonsense for the Trump administration every single day. So if you do like what I do here, please do remember to hit that subscribe button. It is free, of course. And if you guys want to see how Trump's polling is falling off of a cliff right now, and he is severely underwater as we cross over this 100-day mark, go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one.